Quick little text movement piece, very simple. So I've opened up After Effects. Here it is right here. I'm going to start a new project on the top left here, this blue button, new project. And when I do it, it looks like this. Now we haven't saved the project. Notice it's titled Untitled Project. We're going to make a new composition. And again, we're always going to choose HDTV 1080 29.97 from the long list of things. And once you do that, generally I think it stays. It's going to be 10 seconds duration, so 10:00 at the end here. And then let's call it, this is just the comp, this is the timeline. But let's call it move, move text. I'll get rid of that. Move text. So that's the timeline. Now the background is going to be black, but it really doesn't have a background. I mean, it'll show black if we made it a movie just by default. So there is 1920 by 1080. It's 10 seconds long. I'm about 25%. So you can choose fit, which is a little tight, because generally in After Effects you want to see some of the work area here. So this is your movie, this rectangle. Whatever's in here is going to be in your movie. Whatever's out here is not going to be in your movie. Now, a lot of times you will slide stuff in, and that's what we're going to do today. Is slide it in, hold it, and then scale it up or position it. So I'm going to save my project too. See where it says Untitled, and there's a little asterisk here. Asterisk means I need to save it. I've done some stuff and I haven't saved. So call it, let me put it in documents, and I'm going to call it, keep the AEP, the .AEP, and call it text move, and maybe your last name, because I'll see a lot of text moves. And you make sure there's the .AEP at the end. I got rid of the dot accidentally. So there it is. It's all saved. It's all set to go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my type tool, and here's all the tools that I can use in After Effects. I'm going to grab the type tool and type out the word text. Now I can't see it, so it's really small. And I can go over here and enlarge it. Okay. Now I can also, with my selection tool, once I use my text tool, I generally will grab my selection tool, the blue arrow here, because then I can move stuff. And I can also resize it, but I want to hold the shift key down when I do that, so the width and the height resizes together. So let me go down a little bit more, like that. And I can get it in the middle if I do a line. So that supposedly is in the middle. Move it a little bit over. Okay, so that's where I want it to start. Now notice I don't have a background. So what I can do is I can actually create a background. So I'm going to go up to Layer, the word Layer here, click it, go New, and Solid. And I'm going to choose a color for a background. And I'll choose this color here. Now you can't, now notice that my color is above my text. I have two layers. I have the magenta solid layer above the text. So I can actually grab and drag it down below. Now my text is a weird color, so I can click on my text and I can go to character, and I can make my text so you can see it. Okay? Now what we're going to do is we're going to set some keyframes on the position, and then we're going to set the scale too. So this is a little weird. I want it to sit here. I want it to move I'm going to start it over here, move it to here. So because it's here at the final place, I always find the ending of what I want it to look like, and then I get it there. So I'm going to go and click on my text layer and press the letter P for position, P on the keyboard. And when I do that, the word position comes up underneath the text layer with a little watch next to a little stopwatch. I'm going to click that stopwatch, and what it does is it created a keyframe. So it knows that I'm going to set some keyframes now. So because I want this to end here, I'm going to move my scrubber out to, like, let's say 1 second right here. And I can move these later on. And I'm going to click another keyframe, but I want the same keyframe. So I can do a couple things. I can click on this keyframe, and copy, and then paste. I can do that. Let me go Command Z to take it back. Or I can click right here. There's a little blank dot here. And if I click it, it does the same thing. It puts whatever's here, it puts it here too. Because I want the text to go from this point to this point and then stay here for a while so you can read it. Okay? So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to click on the text. And I want to move it horizontally, but I want to move it in a straight line. So if I hold the Shift key down on the keyboard and move it, it can only move straight horizontally or straight vertically. So now I have this, okay, which is fine. And I want this text to sit here for a second or two so you can read it. So again, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to click here, either go Command C and go Command V, and it'll put it wherever the scrubber is. Or, again, I can move the scrubber where I want it and press this little button, this little empty dot right here, and it does the same thing. So it moves it and then it sits it there for a second. So now I'm going to move my scrubber a little bit more, and now I'm going to scale the text up. So what I want to do is I want to press, instead of P, I want to press S. And what it does is, now we can change the scale. But I want to see my other keyframes for position, because as I'm working with the scale, I don't want it to scale up too quickly. So I'm going to press U on the keyboard, U. And when I do that, all of my, UU, and all of my keyboards will show up, keyframe, sorry. Now I have not set the keyframe for scale. See the stopwatch isn't clicked? But I'm going to click it, and I want it to not change while it's doing these things. So I'm going to move it at the end of my position and press this empty keyframe again on scale, because I want the scale to be the same thing throughout this whole move. Now here's the little tricky part. I'm going to move it down a little bit, and I'm going to scale. And because I set the stopwatch, as I move it, I'm going to hold the Shift key down, and it's going to set a keyframe for me. And I want the T to be something like that. So it's going to go like this. It's going to move out. Oh, wait a minute. This somehow got out of position here. So it's going to move in, sit there for a second, and then scale up so the T is like that. Okay? And notice again, I'm working with scale and position. All right? So I'm going to save it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to close this text because I'm all done. All right? And I'm going to put my scrubber, this little blue thing, just past the point where it scales up, like that. And then I'm going to click off of it with my selection tool. See now, nothing's activated now. I'm going to click my text tool, and I'm going to bring it down. Try that again here. Just a second. I can also lock the text tool. The text layer, sorry, text layer. So now I'm going to click it, and I'm going to say text move, and it's in white, so you can't see it. So hang tight here. There it is right there. I'm going to make it and make it bigger. And I'm under the word character here, so this is my character panel. Okay, and I'm actually going to start, so right as the T comes up, right there. I don't want this move to start, so I can grab the beginning of it and move it down to where my scrubber is. So again, now it's not going to show up until that T is done moving into position. Okay, now I haven't done anything to it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to press the P for position. I'm going to set a keyframe, so I'm going to click the stopwatch. And I'm going to, I want that move to stop there. So I'm going to go down further a little bit with my scrubber. And I'm going to click this little empty keyframe here. Or, again, I can click this keyframe, copy it, and then put my scrubber where I want and paste it. And again, it pastes the same thing. So what I'm going to do is, again, I want it to stop here. So this first one, I can actually, if I want to go exact, there are little arrows left and right. I can click on the back left arrow, and it takes me to the first keyframe, or the next keyframe on the left. So I'm right here, so it's all lined up. And I'm going to bring this down, holding the shift key so it comes down straight. So then it's going to be something like this. Okay, now that's fine, but notice these little keyframes are like little diamonds. And what I want to do is I want to put some acceleration and deacceleration on them. So I'm going to highlight them, excuse me, with my mouse. Notice they're both highlighted. I'm going to right click on them and go down and choose Keyframe Assistant, Easy Ease. And notice now they're hourglasses, I guess. Okay, and what that's done is it's created a little bit of animated kind of acceleration. And I'm going to unlock my other text tool and press U. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to highlight all of them on my text layer and right click on one of them and go down to Keyframe Assistant, Easy Ease. And again, they're hourglasses or whatever. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight the one on the one layer, and I'm going to go over here, and you see where I'm turning my mouse, circling my mouse. This is the graph editor. And the only graph editor that we'll ever use, where's it at here, is the speed graph. We'll only use the speed graph. So if you go here, just edit speed graph. And then what I can do is, if I click those little dots there on the Easy Ease circle curve, I can go in with these handlebars and make it more pronounced. Okay? So that's more pronounced on that layer. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the text layer. Oh, it's already Easy E, sorry. I'm going to highlight it though, and then go to the graph editor here. And I can zoom in. And move these handles, kind of like that. And then I will do the same thing. Oh, come on. There it is. All right, got that one. I think I got them all. So then to get back, I'm going to just click away this graph editor here. And I'm also going to go, because I only want to see the part that I'm working with. So I'm going to go back here, and this thicker gray one, not this one on top, but this one here, excuse me, is called the work area. And I can shorten the work area, so when I hit the space bar to play it, it'll only play this, what I've done. It'll keep going back, see? And notice it has easy ease on it, so it has a little bit of acceleration, and it kind of snaps. The movement has a better snap to it. And I could, I could move this around. I can make these shorter, so when I do play it, it's quicker. I could do all that stuff. I can move these closer, farther away. So that's really just the kind of first assignment. Just set a couple keyframes, highlight the keyframes, right-click, choose Keyframe Assistant Easy Ease, and then go into the graph editor under Speed Graph and grab those little handles and just move some text with a couple layers around it. And that's it. And then, to render it, sorry. So we're going to make this a movie so you don't hand in this AEP file. And what you want to do is go to Composition, add to Adobe Media Encoder Q. And Media Encoder is a separate software that does a really good job of taking one file type and making any other file type you want, pretty much. It's an amazing product. And I like to use it to create MP4s. I like MP4 better than movie or AVI. So it takes a second or two to open up here. Hang tight. I'm going to grab a drink of water. And it's opening up. It'll put it right here. So just kick back, relax. Sometimes this takes a little while. So here it is right here. Now, the change it to an MP4, you go into, see where it says Format? And you have all these different formats. The one you want, it's right here. It's a little arrow right here and not here. So if you click it, you just want H.264 is the format. You might have a movie or something or whatever, and you don't want the movie, MOV. So you want H.264. When you click it, it'll make it an MP4. Now it's going to put it in a weird location. So I'm going to click it. I like to click the name of it. I can rename it, just add my last name to it. okay? And then what I want to do is put it like on desktop or something so you can easily find where that thing is. It's going to make an MP4 and it's all set to go. And then when you're ready, you see this little green arrow right here? You click it and just let it make it. It's going to make it frame by frame. And it won't take that long because it's not that long of a file. So there it is right there. You can save it if you want. You know, I don't know if it matters in that program. But when I go to desktop, or maybe it's documents. Oh, where did I put it? Let me go. Date added. Okay, well let me see where it went. Oh, move text Guthrie. Okay, there it is. So here it is right here. It had me for a second. I didn't know where I put it. Okay, thanks. That's it. Go ahead and make that and then turn it in, and that's the first little assignment, just setting some keyframes on multiple layers, working with scale and position, and then making them easy ease and have more acceleration and all that. So